since everyone is here, you might feel this tingling sensation I call anticipation. Because the show is about to begin. Well, because this is a very, very special show, I would like to ask, does anybody has a cell phone? Cell phone? Yeah, great, I see it. Yeah, perfect. Turn it off, we don't need it. I'll be watching you. Well, it's also a very good opportunity to ungrab any candies or snacks you might have. Great, we got that out of the way. Toward the end of the show, you might feel this uncontrollable desire to hurt your hands. I recommend you slapping them together in an activity I call slapping hands. Applause. Shall we practice it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to No Exit. You guys are natural. I'll see you on the other side.
So, here we are.
Yes, Mr. Garcin.
And this is what it looks like.
Yes.
Furniture from the last century. Oh, well, I dare say one gets used to it in time.
Some do, some don't.
Are all the other rooms like this one?
How could they be? We cater for all sorts. What use would anyone else have for this particular kind of furniture?
Used to suppose I would have for it. Do you know who I was? No matter. And to be honest, I had a habit of living among furniture that I didn't relish. And in false positions. I'd even come to like it. Yeah. Louis Philippe dining room in a false position. Do you know the style? You know, it had its points, you know.
And you'll find that residing in a drawing room such as this has its points.
Really? Yes, I never said. Still, I certainly didn't expect this. You know what they tell us down there?
What about?
Yeah, about this, residence?
Really, sir? How could you believe such cock and bull stories told by people who never set foot here? Well, of course, yet they have.
Quite so. But, I say, where are the instruments of torture?
The what?
The racks and the red-hot pincers and all the other paraphernalia.
Ah, you must have your little joke, sir. Ha 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 ha.
A little joke? Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I wasn't joking. No mirrors, I noticed. No windows. To be expected. And, nothing breakable. But damn it, they might have left me my toothbrush.
That's good. So you haven't get over your, what do you call it? Sense of human dignity? Excuse me smiling.
Yeah, I'll thank you to be more polite. I quite realize the position I'm in, but I won't tolerate...
Sorry, sir. No offense meant. But all our guests ask me the same questions. Silly questions, if you pardon me saying so. Where's the torture chamber? That's the first thing they ask. All of them. They don't bother their heads about the bathroom requisites, that I can assure you. But after a bit, when they get their nerve back, they start in about their toothbrushes and whatnot. Good grief, Mr. Garcin. Can you use your brains? What? I ask you. Will be the point of brushing your teeth?
Of course, you're right. And why would one want to look at oneself in a mirror? Hey, that bronze contraption, though, that's another story. I suppose there'll be times when I'll stare my eyes out at that. Stare my eyes out. You see what I mean? Look, let's put our cards on the table. I assure you, I'm quite aware of my situation. Shall I tell you what it feels like? A man's drowning, sinking by inches, choking till only his eyes are just above water. And what does he see? A bronze atrocity by... what's the fellow's name? It doesn't matter. A collector's piece from a nightmare. That's the idea, isn't it? I suppose you're under instructions not to answer any questions, and I won't insist. But don't forget, my man, I have a good notion of what's coming to me. Still boasting you caught me off my guard. I am facing the situation. Facing it. So, that's that. No toothbrush. No bed either. One never sleeps, I take it?
That's so.
Yeah, just as I expected. Why sleep? Sort of drowsiness steals on you, tickles you behind the ears, you feel your eyelids closing, but why sleep? You lay down on the sofa and in a flash, sleep flies away, miles and miles away. You rub your eyes, you get up and it all starts all over again.
Romantic, that's what...
Will you keep it quiet, please? I won't make the scene. I shan't feel sorry for myself. I will face the situation, as I said just now. Face it fairly and squarely. I will not have it springing up on me from behind before I've had time to size it up. And you call that being romantic. So, comes to this. It doesn't need rest. I bother about sleep. If one isn't sleeping, it's against reason. No, there's a snag somewhere. Something disagreeable. Why now should it be disagreeable? Oh, I see. It's life without a break.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that? I thought as much. That's why there's something so beastly, damn bad-mannered in the way you stare at me. They're paralyzed.
What are you talking about?
Your eyelids. We move ours up and down, blinking, we call it. It's like a little black shutter that clicks down and makes a break. Everything goes black, one's eyes are moistened. You can't imagine how restful, refreshing it is. 4,000 little rests per hour. 4,000 little breaks, just think. So that's the idea. To live without eyelids. Now, don't have to fool you. Know what I mean. No eyelids, no sleep. It follows, doesn't it? I shall never sleep again. But then how shall I endure my own company? You're trying to understand. See, I'm fond of teasing. It's second nature with me. And I'm used to teasing myself, plaguing myself, if you prefer. I don't tease nicely, but I can't go on doing that without a break. Down there, I had nights. I always had good nights. I always slept by way of compensation, I suppose. Happy little dreams. There was a field, just an ordinary green field. I used to stroll in it. Is it daytime now?
Can't you see? The lights are on.
Oh, yes, I've got it. Your daytime, and outside.
Outside?
Damn it, you know what I mean. Beyond that wall.
There's a passage.
And at the end of the passage?
There's more rooms, more passages, and stairs.
And what lies beyond them?
That's all.
But surely you have a day off sometimes. Where do you go?
To my uncle's place. He's a head valet here. He has a room on the 3rd floor.
Yes, as much. Where's the light switch?
There isn't any.
What, can't one turn off the light?
Oh, the management can cut off the power if they want to. But I don't remember they having done so on this floor. We have all the electricity we want.
So one has to live with one's eyes open all the time?
To live, did you say?
Don't let's quibble over words. You know what I mean. With one's eyes open all the time. Always broad daylight in my eyes and in my head. Suppose I took that bronze thing and I heaved it up into the lights. Wouldn't they go out?
You can't move it. It's too heavy.
You're right. It's too heavy.
Very well, sir. If you don't need me anymore, I'll be off.
Wait, you're leaving? Wait. That's a bell, right? This, and if I ring it, you're bound to come.
Well, yes, that's so, in a way. But you can never be sure about that bell. There's something wrong with the wiring. It doesn't always work.
It's working all right.
So it is. But I shouldn't count on it if I were you. It's capricious. Well, I really must go now. Yes, sir?
No. Never mind. What is this?
Can't you see? An ordinary paper knife.
Are there books here?
No.
Then what is the point of this? Fine. You can go. Garcin? Hello? Hey.
Did you call, sir?
Nope.
This is your room, madam. Is there any information you require? Most of our guests have a lot to ask me. But I won't insist. Anyhow, as regards to the toothbrush, that bell, and that bronze item over there, this gentleman can tell you anything you want to know, as well as I could. We've had a little chat, him and me.
Where's Florence? Didn't you hear? I asked you about Florence. Where is she?
I have no idea.
Ah. So that's the way it works, is it? Torture by separation. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you won't get anywhere. Florence was a tiresome little fool, and I won't miss her in the least.
I beg your pardon. Who do you suppose I am?
You? Why, the torturer, of course.
That's a good one. It's too good. I torture her. Oh, so you came in, you saw me, and assumed I was one of the staff. It's that silly little fellow's fault. He should have introduced us. I'm Joseph Garcin, journalist, man of letters by profession. And since we are in the same boat, so to speak, might I ask Mrs.
Not Mrs. I'm unmarried.
Right, well, that's a start anyway. And now that we've broken the ice, do I really look like a torturer? And by the way, how does one recognize torturers when one sees them? Evidently you have ideas on the subject.
They look frightened.
Of whom should they be frightened? Of their victims?
Laugh away, but I know what I'm talking about. I've often watched my own face in the mirror.
How beastly of them! They've removed anything in the slightest resembling a mirror. Anyhow, I can assure you I'm not frightened. Not that I take my position lightly, recognize its gravity only too well.
That's your affair. Must you be here all the time, or do you take a stroll outside now and then?
Door's locked.
Ah. That's too bad.
Yeah, I can quite understand that it bores you having me here. And I too, frankly, I'd rather be alone. I want to think things out, set my life in order, and one does that better by oneself. But I'm sure we'll manage to pull along together somehow. I'm no talker. I don't move much. In fact, I'm a peaceful sort of fellow. Only, if I might venture on a suggestion, we should make a habit of being extremely courteous to each other. That will ease the situation for us both.
I'm not polite.
Well, then I must be polite for two.
Your mouth.
Beg your pardon?
Can't you keep your mouth still? You keep twisting it about all the time. It's grotesque.
I'm sorry. Wasn't aware.
Well, that's precisely my point. See? There you are. You talk about politeness, and yet you don't even try to control your face. Remember, you're not alone. You've no right to inflict the sight of your fear on me.
And what about you? Are you not afraid?
What's the use? There was some point in being afraid before while one still had hope.
There's no hope, but it's still before. We've not yet begun to suffer.
That's so. Well, what's going to happen?
I don't know. I'm waiting.
Don't look up. I know what you're hiding with your hands. I know you've no face left. What? But I don't know you.
I'm not the torturer, madam.
I never thought you were. I thought someone was trying to play a rather nasty trick on me. Is anyone else coming?
No, no one else is coming.
Oh. Then we're to stay by ourselves. The three of us. This gentleman, this lady, and myself.
There's nothing to laugh about.
Oh, those sofas. They're so hideous. And just look how they've been arranged. Makes me think of New Year's when I used to visit that boring old aunt of mine, Aunt Mary. Her house is full of floors like that. I suppose each of us has a sofa of its own. That one mine. But you can't expect me to sit on that one. It'd be too horrible for words. I mean purple and it's green.
Would you prefer mine?
That's awful color, what do you mean? That's very sweet of you, but really, I don't think it'd be so much better. Anyway, we've got to take what comes to us, and I'll stick to the green one. The only one which might move hinge is that gentleman's.
Did you hear her, Mr. Garcin?
Sorry. Oh, the sofa, you mean? Oh, please, take it, madam.
Thanks. Well, As we're to live together, I suppose we better introduce ourselves. My name's Rico, Estelle Rico.
And I'm Inez Serrano. Very pleased to meet you.
Joseph Garcin.
Do you require me any longer?
Well, you can go. I'll bring when I want you.
You're very pretty. I wish we had some flowers to welcome you with.
Flowers, yes, I love flowers, only they'd fade so quickly here, wouldn't they? It's so stuffy. But the great thing is to keep us cheerful as we can, don't you agree? Of course you too are.
Yes. Last week. How about you?
Quite recent. Yesterday. As a matter of fact, the ceremony's not quite over. The wind's blowing my sister's veil all over the place. She's trying her best to cry. Come, you do. Make another effort. That's better. 2 tears. 2 little tears are twinkling under the black veil. What a sight Hilda looks this morning. She's holding my sister's arm, helping her along. She's not crying, and I don't blame her. Tears always mess one's face up, don't they? Pogo was my dearest oldest friend.
Did you suffer much?
No, I was only half conscious mostly.
What was it?
Pneumonia. It's over. They're leaving the cemetery. Goodbye, goodbye. What a crowd they are. My husband stayed at home prostrated with grief. Poor man. And how about you?
The gas stove.
Did you, Mr. Garcin?
12 bullets through my chest. Sorry. I'm not very good company among the dead.
Oh, please don't use that word. It's so crude. And terribly bad taste, really. Doesn't mean much anyhow. Somehow I feel we've never been so much alive now. If we absolutely got to mention this state of thing, I suggest we call ourselves, absentees. Have you been absent for long?
About a month.
Where do you come from?
From Rio.
I'm from Paris. Have you anyone left down there?
Yes, my wife. She's waiting at the entrance of the barracks. She comes there every day, but they won't let her in. She's trying to peep between the bars. She doesn't yet know that I'm absent. She suspects it. She's going away. She's wearing her black dress. So much the better. She won't need to change. She's not crying, but she never did cry anyhow. Bright sunny day. She's like a black shadow creeping down the empty street. Those big tragic eyes of hers. That martyred look they always had.
Estelle!
Oh, she got it.
Mr. Garcin!
What is it?
You're sitting on my sofa.
Beg your pardon.
Oh, you look so far away. Sorry I disturbed you.
I was setting my life in order. You might well laugh, but you do better to follow my example.
No need. My life's in perfect order. It tidied itself up nicely of its own accord, so I needn't bother it now.
Really? Imagine it's as simple as that. How hot is it? Mind if I...
How dare you! Oh, no. Please don't. I love men in their shirt sleeves.
All right. Of course, I used to spend my evenings in a newspaper office. It could be a regular black hole, so we never kept our coats on. Stiflingly hot it could be. Stifling, that it is. Oh, it's night now.
That's so. Olga's undressing. It must be after midnight. How quickly the time passes on Earth.
Yes. After midnight. They've sealed up my room. It's dark. Pitch dark and empty.
They've slung their coats over the backs of their chairs and rolled their shirt sleeves up past the elbow. The air stinks of men and cigar smoke. I used to rather like living among men in their shirt sleeves.
In that case, our tastes are different. That's all it proves. How about you? Do you like men in their shirt sleeves?
Oh, I don't care much for men anyway.
Really? Can't imagine why they put us through together. Doesn't make any sense.
What's that you said?
I'm looking at you two and thinking we're going to live together. It's so absurd. I expected to meet old friends or relatives.
Yes, a charming old friend with a hole in the middle of his face.
Yes, him too. He danced the tango so divinely like a professional. But why? Why should we of all people be put together?
Pure fluke, I expect. They lodge folks as they can in the order of their coming. Why are you laughing?
Because you amuse me with your flukes. As if they left anything up to chance. But suppose you've got to reassure yourself somehow.
I wonder now, do you think we might have met at some point in our lives?
Never. I shouldn't have forgotten you.
Or perhaps we have friends in common. I wonder if Little de Dubois, the singer.
Not likely.
But everyone went to their parties.
What's their job?
Oh, they don't do anything. But they have a lovely house in the country and hordes of people visit them.
I didn't. I was a post office clerk.
Yes, of course, in that case. And you, Mr. Garcin?
We never met. I always lived in Rio.
Ah, then you must be right. It must be mere chance that us brought us together.
Mere chance. Well, then it's mere chance this room is furnished as we see it. It's an accident the sofa on the right is livid green and the one on the left's dirt brown. Mere chance. What about that bronze contraption over there? Do you think it's there by accident? And what about the heat? How do you think it's here by accident? No. I tell you, they've thought it all out, down to the last detail. Nothing was left to chance. This room was set for us.
But really, everything here is so hideous. All in angles. So uncomfortable. I always looked at angles.
And do you think I lived in a drawing room such as this?
So it's all fixed up beforehand.
Yes, and they put us together deliberately.
So it's not mere chance that you precisely are sitting opposite to me. But what can be the idea behind it?
Ask me another. I know they're waiting.
I can never bear the idea of anyone expecting anything from me. Always may want to do just the opposite.
Well, do it. Do it. If you can, you don't even know what they expect.
It's outrageous. So something's coming to me from you two. Something nasty, I suppose. There are some faces that tell me everything at once. Yours don't convey anything.
Look, why are we three together? You've given us enough hints. You may as well just come out with it.
But I know nothing. Absolutely nothing about it. I'm as much in the dark as you are.
We gotta know.
Well, if only each of us had the guts to tell.
Tell what?
Estelle,
Yes?
what have you done? I mean, why have they sent you here?
That's just it. I haven't any notion. Not the foggiest. In fact, I'm wondering if there hasn't been some ghastly mistake. Don't smile. Just think of the number of people who become absentees every day. There must be thousands of thousands, and surely they must be sorted out by understrappers. You know what I mean, stupid employees who don't know their jobs. So they're bound to make mistakes sometimes. Do stop smiling. Why don't you speak? If they made a mistake in my case, they might have done the same about you. And you too. Anyhow, isn't it better to think that we've gone in here by mistake?
Is that all you have to tell us?
What else should I tell? I've nothing to hide. I lost my parents when I was a kid, and I had my young brother to bring up. We were terribly poor, and when an old friend of my people asked him to marry him, I said yes. He was very well off and quite nice. My brother was a very delicate child, and needed all sorts of attention. So really, that was the right thing for me to do, don't you agree? My husband was old enough to be my father, but for 6 years we had a happy married life. And 2 years ago, I met the man I was fated to love. We knew at the moment we set eyes on each other. He asked me to run away with him, and I refused. Then I got pneumonia, and it finished me. That's the whole story, no doubt. By certain standards, I did wrong to sacrifice my youth to man nearly 3 times my age. Do you think that could be called a sin?
Certainly not. And now, tell me, Do you think it's a crime to stand by one's principles?
Of course not. Surely no one can blame a man for that.
Wait a minute. I ran a pacifist newspaper. Then war broke out. What was I to do? Everyone was watching me, wondering, will he dare? Well, I dared. I folded my arms and they shot me. Had I done anything wrong?
Oh, wrong. On the contrary, you.
A hero. And how about your wife, Mr. Garcin?
Oh, that's simple. I had rescued her from the gutter.
You see. Yes. I see. Look here, what's the point of play acting? Of trying to throw dust in each other's eyes? We're all tarred with the same brush.
How dare you?
Yes, we are criminals, murderers, all three of us. They never make mistakes. We're in hell.
Stop.
Like pets.
For heaven's
Oh,
sake.
damn souls. That's all of us, all three.
Stop. I forbid you to use such disgusting
A
words.
damned soul. That's you, my little plaster saint. And ditto our friend there, the noble pacifist. We've had our hour of pleasure, haven't we? There have been people who burned their lives out for our sakes, and we chuckled over it. So now it is time to pay the reckoning.
Will you keep your mouth shut?
Ah. I understand now. I know why they've put us three together.
I advise you to think twice before you say any more.
Wait. You'll see how simple it is. Childishly simple. Obviously, there aren't any physical torments here, don't you agree? And yet we're in hell. No one else will come here. It will be the three of us together forever and ever. In short, there's somebody missing. The official torturer.
I noticed that.
It's an economy of manpower, or devil power, if you prefer. Same idea in the cafeteria where customers serve themselves.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean that each of us will act as the torturer of the two others.
No. I shall never be your torturer. I wish neither of you any harm. I have no concern with you, none at all. So, the solution's simple enough. Each of us stays put in his or her corner and takes no notice of the others. You here, and I there, like soldiers at our posts. Also, we mustn't speak, not a word. It won't be difficult. Each of us has plenty of material for self-communings. I think I could stay 10,000 years if only my thoughts were company.
Have I got to keep silent too?
Yes. That way we'll work out our own salvation. Each of us looking into ourselves, never raising our heads. Agreed?
Agreed.
I agree.
Well then. Goodbye.
Crack of dawn, he'd a long day's work in hand, chopping off heads of generals, peers, and priests, and admirals, all the highest in the land. What a crowd in Whitefriars Lane, see them standing in a line, ladies all dressed up so fine, but their heads have got to go. Heads and hats rolled down below. Come, good folks, to Whitefriars Lane. Come to see the merry show.
Excuse me. Have you a mirror? You might not want to talk to me, but you might lend me a mirror.
from me at the entrance.
Sometimes
What's the matter?
I feel so strange. Do you ever get taken that way? When I can't see myself, I begin to wonder if I really and truly exist. I pat myself just to make sure, but it doesn't help much.
You're lucky. I'm always conscious of myself in my mind. Painfully conscious.
Huh, yes, in your mind. But what goes on in one's head is so vague, isn't it? Makes one want to sleep. I have 6 big mirrors in my bedroom. There they are. I can see them, but they don't see me. They're reflecting the carpet, the chair, the window. But how empty it is, a mirror in which I am absent. When I talk to people, I always made sure there was one nearby. I would watch myself talking, and somehow it kept me alert, seeing myself as others saw me. Oh dear. I must have put my lipstick all crooked. No, I can't do without a looking glass forever and ever. I simply can't.
Suppose I try to be your glass. Come, dear, pay me a visit. There's a place for you on my sofa.
But,
Oh, he doesn't count.
but we're going to hurt each other. You said it yourself.
Do I look as if I wanted to hurt you?
One can never tell.
Much more likely you'll hurt me. Still, if I've got to suffer, it might as well be at your hands, your pretty hands. Come, sit. Closer. Closer. Now look into my eyes. What do you see?
Oh, I'm there. But so tiny, I can't see myself properly.
But I can. Every inch of you. Now ask me questions. I'll be as candid as any looking glass.
Sure, Tather isn't bothering you, Mr. Garcin.
As I said before, he doesn't count. Ask away.
Are my lips all right?
Show. They're a bit smudgy.
I thought as much. Luckily, no one's seen me. I'll try again.
It's better. Follow the line of your lips. Wait. I'll guide your hand. There. That's quite good.
As good as when I came in.
Far better. Crueler, almost diabolical that way.
Good gracious, and you say you like it. How maddening it is not to be able to see for oneself. Quite sure, Miss Serrano, that my lips are all right?
Won't you call me Inez?
Are my lips all right?
You're lovely, Estelle.
But how can I rely upon your taste? Is it the same as my taste? Oh, how sickening it is, enough to drive one crazy.
I have your taste, my dear, because I like you so much. Now look at me. Straight. Now smile. There. I'm not so ugly either. Aren't I nicer than your mirrors?
I don't know. You scare me, rather. My reflection in the mirrors never did that. Of course, I knew it so well, like something I had tamed. I'm going to smile, and my smile will sink into your pupils. Heaven knows what it will become.
And why shouldn't you tame me? Listen. I want you to call me Inez. We must be great friends.
Oh, I don't make friends with women berries.
Not with postal clerks, you mean? Oh no! What's that nasty red spot at the bottom of your cheek? Is that a pimple?
Pimple? How simply awful!
There. You know the way they catch larks? With a mirror. I'm your lark mirror, my dear, and you can't escape me. There isn't any pimple. Not a trace of one, so what of it? Suppose the mirror started telling lies. Or suppose I did as he is doing. covered my eyes and refused to look at you, all that loveliness of yours would be wasted on the desert air. Oh, don't be afraid. I can't help looking at you. And I'll be nice to you. Ever so nice. Only you must be nice to me too.
Are you really attracted to me?
Very much indeed.
But I wish you noticed me too.
Of course, because he's a man. Well, Garcin, you've won. But look at her, damn it. You haven't missed a word of what we've said.
Hearts out. Not a word. Not my fingers in my ears, but your voice is thundered in my head. Silly chatter. You leave me in peace, you two. Not interested in you.
Oh, not me, perhaps. But how about this child? Aren't you interested in her? Oh, I saw right through your game. You got on your high horse just to impress her.
I asked you to leave me in peace. There's somebody talking about me in the press room, and I want to listen. And if it'll make you any happier, let me tell you, I have no use for the child, as you call her.
Thanks.
Oh, I didn't mean it rudely.
You can't.
Well, that's that. You know, I begged you not to speak.
It's her fault. I didn't ask anything of her, and she came and offered me her glass.
Oh, so you say. But all the time you were making up to him, trying every trick to get his attention.
Well, why shouldn't I?
You're crazy! Both of you! Don't you see where this is leading us? For pity's sake, keep your mouths shut. Let's all just sit down again, quite quietly, and each of us must try to forget that the others are there.
To forget the others are here. How utterly absurd. Your silence clamors in my ears. You can nail your mouth shut, cut off your tongue. Do you think that can prevent your being here? Can you stop your thoughts? I can hear them ticking away like a clock. Tick-tock, and I know you can hear mine. It's all very well skulking on your sofa, but you're everywhere, and every sound comes to be soiled because you've intercepted it on the way. You've even stolen my face. You know it, and I don't. And what about her? About Estelle? You've stolen her from me, too. If she and I were alone, do you think she would treat me as she does? Oh, take your hands from your face! I'm not going to leave you alone. That would suit your book too well. You would go on sitting there in a sort of trance, and even if I didn't see her, I would feel it in my bones that every sound she made, down to the rustle of her dress, was for your benefit. Throwing you smiles that you didn't see, well, I won't stand for that. I prefer to choose my hell. I prefer to look right at you and fight it out face to face.
Have it your way. I suppose we're bound to come to this. They knew what they were about, and we are easy game. They put me in a room with men. Men can keep their mouths shut. But it's no use wanting the impossible. So, I attract you, little girl. It seems you are making eyes at me.
Don't touch me.
Why not? Well, we might anyhow be natural. Do you know, I used to be mad about women, and some of them were fond of me. So we might as well stop pretending. Nothing to lose. Why bother about politeness and decorum and all the rest of it? We're among ourselves. Presently we shall be naked as newborn babes.
Let me be.
As newborn babes. Well, I warned you anyhow. I asked for so little of you. Nothing but peace and a little silence. I put my fingers in my ears. Gomez was spouting away as usual in the middle of the press room with all the pressmen listening in their shirt sleeves. I tried to listen, but it wasn't too easy. Things on earth move so quickly. You just held your tongue. Now it's over. Whatever he thinks about me has gone back into his head. Gotta see it through somehow. Naked as we were born. So much the better. I want to know whom I have to deal with.
You know already. There's nothing more to learn.
You're wrong. So long as each of us hasn't made a clean breast of it, why they've damned him or her, we know nothing. Nothing that counts. You, young lady, you shall start. Why? Tell us why. If you are frank, if we bring our specters out into the open, it may save us from disaster. So, out with it. Why?
Tell you, I haven't any notion. They wouldn't tell me why.
That's so. They wouldn't tell me either, but I've a pretty good idea. Perhaps you're shy of speaking first? Right. I'll lead off. I am not a very estimable person.
No need to tell us that. We know you were a deserter.
Now leave that be. That's only a side issue. I'm here because I treated my wife abominably. That's all. For 5 years. Naturally, she's suffering still. There she is. The moment I mention her, I see her. It's Gomez who interests me. It's her I see. Where's Gomez got to? 5 years. There. They've given her back my things. She's sitting by the window with my coat on her knees. The coat with the 12 bullet holes. The blood's like rust. Brown ring around each hole. It's quite a museum piece, that coat. Starred with history. And I used to wear it. Fancy. Now, can't you shed a tear, my love? Surely you'll squeeze one out at last. Nope. Can't manage it. Night after night I came home, blind drunk, stinking of wine and women. She'd set up for me, of course, but she never cried, never uttered a word of reproach. Only her eyes spoke. Big, tragic eyes. Now, I don't regret anything. I must pay the price, but I shan't whine. It's snowing in the street. Won't you cry, confound you? That woman was a born martyr, you know, a victim by vocation.
Why did you hurt her like that?
It was so easy. A word was enough to make her flinch. It was like a sense of plant, but never a reproach. You know, I'm fond of teasing. I watched, and I waited, but nope, not a tear, not a protest. I picked her up out of the gutter. You understand. As she's stroking the coat, her eyes are closed and she's feeling with her fingers for the bullet holes. Won't you cry? What are you looking for? What do you expect? I told you I regret nothing. You know, the truth is she admired me too much. Does that mean anything to you?
No. Nobody admired me.
So much the better. So much the better for you. This all strikes you as very vague. Here, something you can sink your teeth into. I brought quite an exotic girl to stay with us. My wife slept upstairs. She must have heard us. She was an early riser, and as the girl and I stayed in bed late, she brought us a morning coffee.
You brute.
Yes, a brute, if you like, but a well-beloved brute. No. It's nothing. It's only Gomez, and he's not talking about me. What were you saying? Yes, Bruce. Certainly. Else why should I be here? Your turn.
Well, I was what some people call down there a damned bitch. Damned already, so it's no surprise being here.
Is that all you have to say?
No. There was that affair with Florence. The dead man's tale with 3 corpses to it. He to start with, and then she and I. So there's no one left. And I've nothing to worry about. It was a clean sweep. Only that room. You know, I see it every now and then, empty, the doors locked. No. They've just unlocked them. For rent. There's a notice on the door. It's for rent. That's too ridiculous.
3 deaths, you said?
3.
1 man and 2 women.
Yes.
Oh well. Did he kill himself?
He? Oh, he hadn't the guts for that. Still, he'd every reason to. We led him a dog's life. As a matter of fact, he was run over by a tram. A silly sort of end. I was living with him at the time. He was my cousin.
Was Florence fair?
Fair? You know, I don't regret a thing. But still, I'm not so very keen on telling you the story.
That's all right. So you got sick of him?
All sorts of little things got on my nerves. For instance, when he was drinking, he made a sort of gurgle. Trifles like that. He was rather pathetic, really. Vulnerable. Why are you smiling?
Because I, anyhow, am not vulnerable.
Don't be too sure. I crept inside her skin, and she saw the world through my eyes. When she left him, I had her in the palm of my hands. We shared an apartment together at the other end of town.
And then?
Then the tram did its job. I used to tell her every day, yes, my pet. We killed him between us. I'm rather cruel, really.
So am I.
No, you're not. It's something else.
What?
I'll tell you later. When I say I'm cruel, I mean I can't get on without making other people suffer. Like a live coal in others' hearts. When I'm alone, I flicker out. For 6 months, I flamed away in her heart till there was nothing but a cinder. And then one night she got up and turned on the gas while I was asleep and crept back into bed. So now you know.
Oh, well.
Yes. What's on your mind?
Nothing. Only that it's not a pretty story.
Obviously, but what matter?
Yeah, as you say, don't matter. Your turn. What have you done?
I tell you, I haven't any notion. I racked my brain, but it's nothing.
Right, well then we'll give you a hand. The fellow with the smashed face. Who was he?
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, you know quite well. The man you were so scared of seeing when you came in.
Oh, him, a friend of mine.
Why were you so afraid of him?
That's my business, Mr. Garcin.
Did he shoot himself on your account?
Of course not. How absurd you are.
Then why should you have been so scared? He blew his brains out, didn't he? That's how his face got smashed.
Stop it.
Because of you. Because of you!
He shot himself because of you.
Stop it. It's not fair bullying me like that. I want to go. I want to go.
Yeah, go if you want. I asked for nothing better. Unfortunately, the door's locked.
You're hateful, both of you. Hateful. Yes, that's the word. Now get on with it. The fellow who killed himself on your account, you were his mistress, eh?
Of course she was. And he wanted to have her to himself alone. That's so, isn't it?
He danced the tango like a professional, but he was poor as a church mouse, wasn't he?
Was he poor or not? Give a straight answer.
Yes, he was poor.
Then you had your reputation to think of. One day he came to you and implored you to run away with him, and you laughed in his face.
That's it. You laughed at him, and so he killed himself.
Did you used to look at Florence in that way?
Yes.
Oh, you've got it all wrong, you two. He wanted me to have a baby, so there.
And you didn't want one.
I certainly didn't. But the baby came, worse luck. I went to Switzerland for 5 months. Roger was with me when she was born. It was a girl. Pleasing to no end, having a daughter, it didn't please me.
And then?
There was a balcony overlooking the lake. I brought a big stone. You could see what I was up to, and he kept shouting, "Estelle, for God's sakes, don't!" I hated him then. He saw everything. He was leaning over the balcony, saw the ring spreading on the water.
Yes. And then?
I went back to Paris and he did as he wished.
You mean he blew his brains out?
It's absurd of him, really. My husband never suspected anything. Oh, how I loathe you.
Oh, nothing doing. Tears don't flow in this place.
I'm a coward, a coward! You knew how I hate you.
Poor child. So the hearing's over. There's no need to look like an executioner.
Executioner? I don't want to be able to see myself in the mirror. Oh, how hot is it? Oh.
Father, you could stay in your shirt sleeves as things are.
Just so. You mustn't be angry with me, Estelle.
I'm not angry with you.
What about me? Are you angry with me?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Garcin, you have us in the nude, all right. Do you understand things any better for it?
I wonder. Yes, perhaps a trifle better. Now, suppose we start trying to help each other.
I don't need help.
Yes. They've laid their snare damn cunningly. It's like a cobweb. If you make any movement, if you raise a hand to fan yourself, Estelle and I feel a little tug. Alone, none of us can save himself or herself. We are linked together inextricably, so you can make your choice. Hello. What's happening?
They've leased it. The windows are wide open. A man is sitting on my bed. My bed, if you please. They've leased it. Leased it. Step in. Step in. Make yourself at home, you brute. There's a woman, too. She's going up to him, putting her hands on his shoulders. Damn it. Why don't they turn the lights on? It's getting dark. He's going to kiss her, but that's my room. That's my room. Pitch dark. I can't see them, but I can hear them. Whispering. Is he going to make love to her on my bed? But then she said that it's noon and the sun is shining. Blacked out. I can't see or hear a thing. So I'm done with the earth, it seems. No more alibis for me. I feel so empty. Desiccated, really dead. At last. All of me is here in this room. What's that you said? Something about helping me.
Yes.
Helping me to do what?
To defeat their devilish tricks.
What do you expect me to do in return?
Help me! It only takes a little effort and that's just a spark of human feeling.
Human feeling. It's beyond my range. I'm rotten to the core.
And what about me? Well, listen, suppose we try.
It's no use. I'm all dried up. I can't give, and I can't receive. How could I help you? Florence was fair, a natural blonde.
Do you realize that this young woman is fated to be your torturer?
Perhaps I've guessed it.
It is through her they'll get you. I'm different. Aloof. Take no notice of her. Suppose you had a try.
Yes.
It's a trap. They are watching you to see if you'll fall into it.
I know. And you're another trap. Do you think they haven't foreknown every word you would say? And of course, there's a whole nest of pitfalls here that we can't see. Everything here is a booby trap. But what do I care? I'm a pitfall too for her, obviously. And perhaps I will catch her.
You won't catch anything. We are chasing each other round and round in a vicious circle like horses on a carousel. That's their plan. Drop it, Inez. Open your hands and let go of everything, or you'll bring disaster on all of us.
Do I look like the sort of person who lets go? I know what's coming to me. I am going to burn, and it's to last forever. Yes, I know everything. I will catch her. She'll see through my eyes as Florence saw my own cousin. What's the good of trying to enlist my sympathies? I assure you, I know everything, and I can't feel sorry even for myself. A trap. Don't I know it that I'm a trap myself up to the neck, and there's nothing to be done about it, and if it suits their book, so much the better.
Well, I can feel sorry for you. Look at me. We're naked. naked right through it. I can see into your heart. That's one link between us. Do you think I want to hurt you? I'm dried up too. I don't regret anything, but for you, I can still feel pity.
Don't! I hate being pawed about. And keep your pity for yourself. Don't you understand, Garcin, that there are traps for you two in this room, all nicely set for you? You would do better to watch your own interests. But if you will leave us in peace, this child and me, I will see to it that I don't do you any harm.
Very well.
Garcin,
What
please.
do you want from me?
You can help me anyhow.
If you want help, apply to her.
Please, help me quick. I don't want to be left alone. The Olga's taken him to a cabaret.
Taken whom?
Peter. Oh, now they're dancing together.
Who's Peter?
Such a silly boy. He called me his glancing stream. Just fancy. Was terribly in love with me. Olga persuaded him to come out with her tonight.
Do you love him?
They're sitting down now. She's puffing like a beluga. What a fool the girl is to insist on dancing. But I dare say she does it to reduce. Of course, I don't love him. He's only 18, and I'm not a baby snatcher.
And why bother about them? What difference can it make?
He belonged to me.
Nothing on earth belongs to you anymore.
I tell you, he was mine, all mine.
He was, once. But now, try to make him hear. Try to touch him. Olga can touch him. Talk to him as much as she likes, that's so, isn't it? She can squeeze his hands, rub herself against him.
That's so. Look, she's pressing her great fat chest against him, puffing and blowing in his face. But my poor little lamb, can't you see how ridiculous she is? Why don't you laugh at her? Once I only had to glance at them and she'd slunk away. Is there really nothing left of me?
Nothing whatsoever. Nothing of you is left on earth, not even a shadow. All you own is here. Would you like that paper knife there? Or how about this ornament contraption? The sofa's yours, and I, my dear, I am yours forever.
You, mine. That's good. Well, what you get to prepare to call me his glancing street, his crystal girl? You know too much about me, you know Robin through and through. Peter, dear, think of me. Fix your thoughts in me and save me. All that time you're thinking my glancing street, my crystal girl? I'm only half here and I'm only half looking. And half of me is down there with you. Clean and bright and crystal clear as running water. Just look at her face. All scarlet like a tomato. No, it's absurd. We've laughed at her together, you and I, often and often. What's that tune? Yes, I always loved it. The Saint Louis blues. All right, dance away, dance away. Garcin, I wish you could see her. Only you die of laughing. But she'll never know I see her. Yes, I see you, Olga, with your hair all anyhow. And you do look a dope, my dear. Now you're treading on his toes. It's a scream. Hurry up, quicker, quicker. He's dragging her along, bundling her round and round. It's too ghastly. He always said I was so light and he loved to dance with me. Olga, I can see. No, she doesn't care. She's dancing through my gaze. What's that? That, you said. Our poor dear Estelle. Don't be such a humbug. You didn't even shed a tear at the funeral. And she has the nerve to talk about her poor dear friend Estelle. How dare she discuss me with Peter? Now then, keep time, keep time. She never could dance and talk at once. What's that? That you said? No, please. You can keep it and do what you like with him, but please don't tell him about that. Garcin! Roger and I trip to Switzerland? The baby? Poor Estelle wasn't exactly. No, I wasn't exactly. True enough. He's looking grave, shaking his head. But he doesn't look very much surprised. Not what one would expect. Keep him then. I won't haggle you over his long eyelashes, his pretty girlish face. They're yours for the asking. A glancing stream? A crystal! Well, the crystal shattered into bits. Poor Estelle! Dance, dance, dance! Hung with it, but do keep time. 1, 2, 1, 2. He never could dance either. Oh, how I'd love to go on Earth for a moment and dance with him again. Music's growing fainter. They've turned down the lights as they do for a tango. Why are they playing so softly? And louder, please. I can't hear. I can't hear a sound. It's so far away, so far away. Oh, it's over. It's the end. The earth has left me. Don't turn away. And take me in your arms.
Now then, Garcin.
To her, you should say that.
Don't turn away. You're a man, aren't you? And surely I'm not such a fright as all that. I mean, everyone says I have lovely hair, and after all, a man did kill himself on my account. Look, there's nothing here to see except the table, the chairs, and that awful ornament. And surely I'm prettier to look at than a bunch of stupid furniture. Listen, I've dropped out of their hearts like a little sparrow fallen from his nest, so gather me up, darling. Pull me into your heart and see how relaxed I am.
I tell you, it is to that lady you should speak.
But to her, she doesn't count. She's a woman.
Oh, I don't count. Is that what you think? But my poor little fallen nestling, you've been sheltering in my heart for ages, though you didn't realize it. Don't be afraid. I will keep looking at you forever and ever without a flutter of my eyelids, and you will live in my gaze like a moth in a sunbeam.
A sunbeam indeed. Don't talk such rubbish. You've tried that trick already. You should know it doesn't work.
Estelle! My glancing stream, my crystal!
Your crystal! It's grotesque. Do you think you can fool me with that sort of talk? Everyone knows by now what I did to my baby. The crystal shattered into bits, and I don't care. I'm just a hollow dummy, and all that's left of me is the outside. But it's not for me.
Come to me, Estelle. You shall be whatever you like. A glancing stream, a muddy stream. And deep in my eyes, you will see yourself just as you want to be.
But leave me in peace. You haven't any eyes. Damn it. Isn't there anything I can do to get rid of you? I have an idea. Oh, there.
Garcin, you will pay for this!
So, it's a man you want.
Not any man. You.
No, how about now? Any man would do your business. As I happen to be here, you want me. Right. Mind you, I'm not your sort at all, really. I'm not a young nincompoop, and I don't dance the tango.
I'll take you as you are, and perhaps I shall change.
I doubt it. I shan't pay much attention. I have other things to think about.
What things?
They wouldn't interest you.
I'll sit on your sofa and wait for you to notice me. I promise not to bother you at all.
That's right. Fawn on him like the silly bitch you are. Grovel and cringe, and he hasn't even good looks to commend him.
Don't listen to her. She has no eyes, no ears. She's nothing.
I'll give you what I can. It doesn't amount to much. I won't love you. I know you too well.
You want me anyhow?
Yes.
I ask no more.
In that case...
Stop! Garcin, you must be going crazy. You're not alone. I'm here too.
Yes, of course. What does it matter?
Under my eyes, you couldn't do it.
Why not? I often undress with my maid looking on.
Leave her alone! Don't paw her with your dirty man's hands!
Take care! I am no gentleman, and I would have no compunction about striking a woman.
You promised me. You promised. I'm only asking you to keep your word.
Why should I? Considering you were the first to break our agreement.
Very well. That's how it is. I am the weaker party, 1 against 2. But don't forget, I am here and watching. At every moment, Garcin, when you are kissing her, you will feel my eyes boring into you. Yes, make love and get it over. We're in hell. My turn will come.
Now then, your lips. Give me your lips.
Really? Did I tell you not to pay any attention to her?
No, you got it wrong. It's Gomez. He's back in the press room. Close the windows. Must be winter down there? 6 months. Well, I warned you I'd be absent-minded sometimes, didn't I? They kept their coats on. They're shivering. It's funny, they should feel the cold like that while I'm feeling so hot. And this time he's talking about me.
Is it going to last long? You might at least tell me what he's saying.
Nothing worth repeating anyway. He's a swine, that's all. Goddamn bloody swine. Yeah, let's come back to ourselves. Estelle, are you going to love me?
I wonder now.
Will you trust me?
What a funny thing to ask, considering you'll be under my eyes all the time. But I don't think I've much to fear from Inez as far as you're concerned.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of another kind of trust. Talk away, you swine! I'm not there to defend myself. Estelle, you must give me your trust.
What a nuisance you are. I'm giving you my mouth, my arms, my whole body. And everything could be so simple. My trust? I haven't any to give, I'm afraid. You're making me feel terribly embarrassed. You must have something pretty haunting on your mind to make a fuss about my trust.
They shot me.
I know. Because you refused to fight. Well, why should you?
I didn't exactly refuse. Must say he talks well. Makes out a good case against me. And he never says what I should have done instead. Should I gone up to the general and said, General, I declined to fight. It's a mug's game. He would have promptly locked me up. I wanted to show my colors. My true colors, do you understand? I wasn't going to be silenced. So I got on a train. Stopped me at the border.
Where were you trying to go?
Mexico. I meant to launch a pacifist newspaper down there. Well, why don't you speak?
Well, what do you expect me to say? You acted quite rightly as you didn't want to fight. But darling, how on earth can I guess what you want me to answer?
Can't you guess? Well, I can. He wants you to tell him that he bolted like a lion. For bolt, he did, and that's what's biting him.
Bolton, wait away. We won't quarrel over words.
Well, you had to run away. If you had stayed, they'd sent you to jail, wouldn't they?
Of course. Well, Estelle, am I a coward?
Oh, I don't know. I can't put myself in your skin. You must decide that for yourself.
I can't decide.
Well, you must have had reasons for acting the way you did.
I had.
Well?
But were they the real reasons?
You with twisted mind, that's your trouble. Plaguing yourself over such trifles.
I thought it out, and I wanted to make a stand, but was that my real motive?
Exactly. Was that your real motive? No doubt you argued it out with yourself, weighed the pros and cons, and found good reasons for what you did. But fear and hatred and all the dirty little instincts one keeps dark their motives too. So carry on, Mr. Garcin, and
Do I need you to tell me that? Day and night I paced my cell. From the window to the door, from the door to the window, I sleuthed myself like a detective. By the end of it, I felt as if I'd given my whole life to introspection. But always I harkened back to one thing certain. I had acted as I had. I had taken that train to the border. But why? Why? Finally, I thought, my death will settle it. If I face death courageously, I'll prove I am no coward.
And how did you face death?
Miserably. Rottenly. Oh, it was only a physical lapse. That would happen to anybody. I'm not ashamed of it. Only now everything's been left in suspense forever. So, I want to feel someone looking at me while they're talking about me on Earth. Light green eyes.
Green eyes. Just listen to him.
And you, Estelle, do you like cowards? If you knew how little I care. Coward or hero, it's all one. Just as well.
There they are, slumped over in their chairs, sucking on their cigars. Bored they look. Half asleep. They're thinking, Garcin's a coward, but only vaguely, dreamily. One's got to think of something. That chap Garcin was a coward. That's what they've decided. Those dear friends of mine. 6 months' time, they'll be saying, cowardly as that skunk Garcin. You're lucky, you two. No one on earth is giving you another thought. Me, I'm longing and dying.
What about your wife, Garcin?
Didn't I tell you? She's dead.
Dead?
Yes, dead. She died just now. 2 months ago.
Of grief.
What else should she die of? So, it's all for the best, you see. The war's over. My wife's dead. And I've carved out my place in history.
My poor darling. Look at me. There, put your hands there. Keep them there. No, don't put them away. Why trouble what those men are thinking? They'll die off one by one. Forget about them. There's only me.
They won't forget about me. Not they, they'll die. But others will come after to carry on the legend.
You think too much. That's your trouble.
What else is there to do now? I was a man of action once. If I could just be back with them for one day, I would fling that lie in their teeth. But I'm locked out. They're passing judgment on my life without bothering about me. Yeah, they're right, because I'm dead. Dead and gone. Back number.
Garcin.
I'm still there. Listen, I want you to do me a service. Don't drift away. I know it seems strange to you, someone asking you for a favor. I'm not used to that, but if you'll just make the effort, if you will it hard enough, I dare say we truly can love each other. Look at it this way. 1,000 of them are proclaiming that I'm a coward. But what do numbers matter? If there was someone, just one person to say quite positively that I did not run away, that I'm not the sort who runs away, that I'm brave and decent and all the rest of it, then that person's faith would save me. Will you have that faith in me? If you do, I will love you and cherish you forever.
You dear silly man. You think I could love a coward?
Just now you said...
I was only teasing you. I like men, my dear. Real men. With tough skin and strong hands. You haven't a coward's chin or a coward's mouth. Or a coward's voice or a coward's head. As for your mouth, your voice, your hair,
You mean this? You really mean it?
Shall I swear it?
I snap my fingers at all of them. Those below and those in here. Estelle, we shall climb out of hell. What's that?
You don't believe a word of what she says. How can you be such a simpleton? Estelle, am I the coward? As if she cared either damn way.
Don't listen to her. She has no eyes, no ears. Look, if you want me to have faith in you, you must begin by trusting me.
That's right. Trust away. She wants a man. That trust her. She wants a man's arm round her waist, a man's smell, a man's eyes glowing with desire, and that's all she wants. She'd assure you you were God Almighty if she thought it would give you pleasure.
Estelle, is this true? Answer me, is it true?
What do you expect me to say? Do you know how hard it is to have to answer questions one can't make tail or head of? And you do make things difficult. I mean, even if you were a coward, I'd love you just the same. Isn't that all right?
You disgust me. Both of you.
Where are we going?
I'm leaving.
You won't get far, the door's locked.
I'll make them open it.
Please, please.
Don't worry, my pet, the bell's broken.
I will. You will answer me.
Please, please don't leave. I don't want to be left with alone with Inez now that she's shown her clothes.
Go away! You're even fouler than she. I will not let myself get bogged down in your eyes. You're soft and slimy like an octopus, like a swamp.
That's true that you're a coward. Oh, how mean you are.
Well, my poor little nestling. I hope you're satisfied now. You spat in my face. Playing up to him, of course, and we had a tiff on his account. But he's going now. And good riddance it will be. We two women will have the place to ourselves.
You won't gain anything. If that door opens, I'm going too.
Where?
I don't care where. As far from you as I can.
Open the door! Open it, please! I'll endure anything. Your red hot songs and your molten lead, your racks and prongs and pincers, all your fiendish gadgets. Anything that burns and flays and tears. I'll put up with any torture you impose! Anything! Anything would be better than this. Agony of mindless creeping pain that gnaws and fumbles and caresses and never hurts quite enough. Will you open?
Well, Garcin, you're free to go.
No, I wonder why that door.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up and go!
You shall not go.
And you, Estelle? Well, which shall it be? Which of the three of us will leave? The barrier's down. Why are we waiting? What is situation? It's a scream. We're inseparables.
Inseparables. Garcin, come quick, lend your hand, we'll throw out the door. I'll teach you a lesson. Oh,
I beg you, don't. I won't go into that passage.
Let go of her.
what? You're crazy. She hates you.
It's because of her that I'm staying here.
Because of me? Or shut the door! It's 10 times hotter in here since it opened! Because of me, you said.
Yes. You, anyhow, know what it means to be a coward. Isn't that so?
Yes, I know.
And you know what wickedness is, and shame, and fear. There are times when you peered into yourself, into the secret places of your heart, and what you saw there made you faint with horror. And the next day you didn't know what to make of it. You couldn't interpret the horror you had glimpsed the day before. Yes, you know what evil costs. When you say I'm a coward, you know from experience what that means, isn't that so?
Yes.
So, it's you I must convince. You are of my kind. Did you think I meant to go? Oh. I couldn't leave you here, gloating over my defeat with all those thoughts about me running around in your head.
Do you really wish to convince me?
That is the only thing I wish for now. You can't hear them anymore. You know? Probably that means they're through with me. Good and all. Curtains down. Nothing remains of me on earth. Not even the name of coward. So, Inez, we're alone. Only you two remain to give a thought to me. She doesn't count. It's you who matters. You who hate me. If you'll have faith in me, I'm saved.
It's not going to be easy. Look at me. I'm a hard-headed woman.
I'll give you all the time that's needed.
Oh, yes. Need lots of time in hand. All time.
Listen. Every man has an aim in life, a leading motive. That's so, isn't it? Well, I didn't give a damn for wealth or love. I aimed at being a real man. Tough, as they say. I staked everything on the same horse. Can one truly be a coward if one has deliberately courted danger at every turn? And can you judge a life by a single action?
Why not? For 30 years you dreamt you were a hero and condoned 1,000 petty lapses because a hero, of course, can do no wrong. An easy method, obviously. But then the day came when you were up against it, the red light of real danger, and you took the train to Mexico.
I dreamt, you said. It was no dream. When I chose the most difficult path, I made my choice deliberately. A man is what he wills himself to be.
Prove it. Prove it was no dream. It's what one does, and nothing else that shows the stuff one's made of.
I died too soon. I wasn't given time to do my deeds.
One always dies, too soon or too late, and yet one's whole life is complete at that moment with a line drawn neatly under it, ready for the summing up. You are your life and nothing else.
What a poisonous woman you are. An answer for everything.
Oh, now. It shouldn't be so hard convincing me. Pull yourself together, man! Rake up some arguments! Or wasn't I right when I said you were vulnerable? Now you're going to pay the price, Garcin. And what a price it will be! You're a coward, Garcin! Because I wish it. I wish it, do you hear me? I wish it! And yet just look at me! See how weak I am. A mere breath on air, a gaze observing you, a formless thought that thinks you. Oh, they're open now. Those big, coarse man's hands. But what did you hope to do? You can't throttle thoughts with hands. So you've no choice. You must convince me, and you're at my mercy.
Garcin,
What?
revenge yourself.
How?
Kiss me, darling, and then you'll hear her squeal.
That's true, Inez. I'm at your mercy. But you're at mine, too.
You coward! You weakling running to women to console you!
That's right, Inez. Squeal away.
If you could see in his big paws flayed out on your back, rucking up the skin and creasing the silk. Oh, but be careful now. He's perspiring in his hand. Will leave a blue stain on your dress.
Squeal away, Inez. Squeal away. Hug me tight, darling. Tighter still. That'll finish her off, and a good thing, too.
That's right, Garcin. Press her until you feel your bodies melting into each other, a lump of warm, throbbing flesh. Love's a grand solace, isn't it, my friend? Deep and dark asleep, but I'll see to it you don't sleep.
Don't listen to her. Kiss me, darling. Oh, I'm yours, yours, yours.
Well, what are you waiting for? Do as you're told. What a lovely scene. Coward Garcin holding baby killer Estelle in his manly arms. Make your stakes, everyone. Will coward Garcin kiss the lady, or won't he dare? What's the betting? I'm watching you. Everybody's watching. I'm a crowd all by myself. Can you hear the crowd, Garcin? Can you hear them mumbling and muttering? Coward, 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 coward! It's what they're saying. It's no use trying go. What do you hope to get from her silly lips, huh? Forgetfulness? I won't forget you. Not I. It is I you must convince. So come to me. I'm waiting. Look how obedient he is. Like a well-trained dog who comes when his mistress calls. You can't hold him, and you never will.
Bronze. Now's the moment. I'm staring at this thing, this art. I understand that I am in hell. Actually, they thought it all out beforehand. They knew that I would be standing here, stroking this thing of bronze with all those eyes intent on me, devouring me. What, only 2 of you? I thought there were more. Many more. Huh. So this is hell. I never would have believed it. Do you remember what they used to tell us down there? About the torture chambers and the fire and brimstone, the burning marl? Wives' tales. There's no need for red-hot pokers. Hell is other people.
My darling, please.
It's no use. She's between us. I cannot love you while she is watching.
Right. In that case, I'll stop her from watching.
You crazy creature! What do you think you're doing? You know quite well I'm dead.
Dead.
Dead, 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 dead! Knives, poison, ropes, all useless. It's happened already. So here we are. Forever.
Forever. My God, how funny.
Forever and ever and ever, ever, ever. Well, let's get on with it.